Tonight on Connecticut's news station, the U.S. Education Secretary returns to his home state of Connecticut for a high school graduation. We'll hear his lessons to the new grads.
Also, hateful messages and vandalism spotted across Connecticut.
We spent a lot of time and dedication to try to get this done for the city.
How a new state police task force is working to stop racist and homophobic crimes.
Tracking rain and rumbles moving through the area, and that's not the only rain in the forecast.
And a major collapse shuts down Interstate 95 in Philadelphia. How this latest incident is similar to one that happened right here in Connecticut.
Now at 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
We begin at 10 on the Weather Watch. Some rain and storms expected to move through Connecticut overnight. Good evening. I'm Jen Bernstein.
And I'm Ben Goldman. Thanks for joining us here at 10 tonight. It is a humid night across the state of Connecticut, and some parts could hear some rumbles of thunder coming pretty soon.
Yeah, we want to check in with Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank for a first check of the forecast. Rachel. Yeah, you can go to bed listening to the sounds of the rainforest tonight, knowing there is no severe weather threat here. But yes, rain and rumbles of thunder, at least in parts of the state. And it's raining quite heavily right now in southern Connecticut, Fairfield County, New Haven County, from Ansonia over through New Haven and Branford, where you can see some of those yellows, oranges, reds, really indicating where the heaviest is located, and some downpours that are kind of north of this heavier line. So this is all going to be lifting into Southington, lifting into New Britain over time. Middletown, it'll be heading your way. And if we widen out a little bit more, you'll see more rain heading into Middlesex and also New London counties as well. It may start to weaken this line as it heads into northern Connecticut, but at least all of us are getting some rain tonight for the lawn and garden, and we have many chances for that in the days ahead. Taking a look, this is 1 o'clock in the morning. This is all out of here, though, by the time you wake up tomorrow morning. We also have some areas of locally dense fog as well, but again, that should resolve itself by the time you wake up. The humidity slowly easing out as we head through the day tomorrow, a break in the rain as well. We'll see high temperatures climb between 75 to right around 80 degrees, with clouds slowly breaking for some sunshine and a bit more refreshing air moving in, at least temporarily. But we have another round of humidity, showers, and storms. Some of them could be strong for Wednesday. We'll talk more about it. Your full forecast coming up.
All right, Rachel, thank you. Well, new at 10 tonight, a Connecticut native who's our nation's top educator spoke to graduates at one high school in our state. U.S. Education Secretary Dr. Miguel Cardona was at the commencement ceremony for Platt High School earlier this evening. Fox 61's Gabby Molina joining us live in Meriden tonight with his message to the new grads. Gabby?
Well, Ben, the class of 2023 is unique because they started high school right before the pandemic and they're graduating after it has ended. But for many of them, the challenges that the pandemic brought still remain, which made walking across the stage today all the more significant. For the class of 2023, there is nothing that can rain on their parade.
I truly feel like rain was nothing compared to what we went through.
They made it through nearly all of their high school years while also dealing with the pandemic and all of the challenges it brought.
Because some of us did online, some of us did cohorts in school. And I did in person at first, and then I switched over to online because I feel like it was really hard.
And even years later, students are still struggling. According to an assessment by the Connecticut State Department of Education from the 2021-2022 school year, student achievement was not yet back at pre-pandemic levels.
I feel like no other class is really going to experience it like how we experienced it.
Their efforts acknowledged at the Platt High School graduation Monday evening by Meriden native U.S. Education Secretary Miguel Cardona.
You're the only class that started high school before and finished high school after the disruption. No other class can say that.
He applauded the students for making it through what has been a difficult time for many.
I also want to acknowledge the student who struggled academically and worked twice as hard to cross the stage with a C average. I see you.
This class is resilient and say they feel equipped to handle whatever is next.
I want to do electrical engineering. I want to major in electrical engineering. Our plans are going to a technical school for automotive and hopefully start my own mechanic shop.
And despite the difficult road, they are well on their way.
It's amazing. I don't know, we're here, we did it, we made it. It was hard, but we made it through.
Congratulations to the Platt High School class of 2023.
Secretary Cardona is also expected to speak at another graduation here in Meriden later this week at Wilcox Tech, where he graduated from. Live in Meriden, Gabby Molina, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
An exciting day, Gabby. Thank you very much. Well, Vernon police say a man is dead tonight after a fire broke out at his home. The fire started on Haney Lane this morning. Police say the homeowner is in his 60s and was found dead when officers searched inside. Neighbors say they woke up to see the flames shooting out of the house, and they're mourning the death of their longtime neighbor.
He'd come out and he would catch you and he'd talk for about an hour. He was very, very, very smart and, knew a little bit about almost everything. And sometimes, you didn't want to get caught by him because you're going to have like an hour-long conversation. But now I will miss those.
Vernon police say the fire marshal is investigating what started that fire.
Meriden police are investigating tonight after a man's body was found in Harbor Brook River. Officers say a construction crew found the body around 7 o'clock this morning. The person's been identified as a 40-year-old male. Authorities say he had a history of medical issues. We're also told that there are no obvious signs of anything criminal happening.
A resident of an Old Saybrook nursing home has been charged in the death of another patient. 70-year-old Stephen Laquette is accused of pushing 88-year-old Edward Flynn at Apple Rehab last June. Police say it happened during an argument over the volume of Flynn's television. Flynn was taken to the hospital for a fractured spine. Police say he had an operation but died 2 weeks later. The medical examiner determined Flynn's death was caused by complications from that fracture. Laquette is being held on $500,000 bond.
A former Waterbury city official was back in court today after being accused of driving drunk and severely injuring a teen in a hit-and-run crash. 58-year-old John Egan's court was transferred to a different location where more serious cases are handled. Egan was serving as the chair of Waterbury's zoning commission at the time of the crash last month, but he has since resigned. Police say 17-year-old Brian Kaye was riding a scooter when Egan hit him with his car. Kaye, who's originally from Ecuador, is now at Connecticut Children's Medical Center and needs a ventilator to breathe. Egan posted $50,000 bond and is due in court again on June 28th. New at 10, we're hearing from the artists behind a Black Lives Matter mural in Hartford after it was vandalized with swastikas and other racist messages.
It's the latest hate crime in our state being investigated by a new state police unit. Fox 61 photojournalist Nate Gagney spoke with the artists today as they cleaned up that hateful graffiti.
When I arrived, my letter was vandalized. I was a little down when I found out this morning, but when I got here, I don't know, I just got this like motivation, and like the first thing I did was cover it up. It just inspired me more. My theme is together we rise. We rise together, like we're all one. It makes me feel sad that someone would come here and do that, because not only me, but all these artists, we work hard, to put this together, and we're just hoping that this inspires people.
I think it's a shame also, but at the same time, all it did was really give us more notice on what we're doing. It stands for what it means already, and you can see why it's very needed in our community. My name is Terrence Clemens, and I'm also known as MGP, and I'm a local graffiti artist here in Hartford. So the theme for my letter I here in the whole piece is I matter, which stands into the aspect of we all matter. So it goes along with the fact that I matter. I'm able to do something like this for the whole community that goes for the Black Lives Matter movement and everything like that. So the handprint theme in it was supposed to be, I wanted to have everyone come that was a part of it if we had time to put their own handprint in it. But since we couldn't do that, I used a local person walking by and asked to take a stencil off his hand. That's pretty much my template for all the handprints in here. I love the fact that our community is allowing us to even do something like this, and have it happen twice is a big thing for me. So just to be a part of this history here in Hartford, I had to leave my stamp in it.
That was our photojournalist Nate Gagney reporting. The vandalism on the mural comes as Hartford prepares to hold its Juneteenth celebration on Saturday. Police are also investigating another act of hate, this one in the quiet corner town of Thompson. State police say a 3-page letter was left in bags in more than 100 driveways last week. The note included racist and anti-Semitic and homophobic language. The newly formed hate crimes unit for the state police says that 1 out of every 10 Connecticut communities has been targeted by white supremacist messages like these.
Especially stings deeply for my wife Erica and I, as it targeted 3 generations of our family members. That letter was trying to intimidate politicians, intimidate voters.
State police say that troopers made 3 hate crime-related arrests so far this year.
Calls at the state capitol tonight for ride-sharing services to address human trafficking. Senator Richard Blumenthal says he's asking apps like Uber and Lyft to take more steps to prevent their services from being used to transport victims of human trafficking. Senator Blumenthal says there's also a need for more training and resources for drivers.
That driver, the last person to see the victim before she or he goes into that hotel or home, can help save a life.
The call for action comes after recent reports from survivors and advocates that ride-sharing apps are being used more often to transport trafficking victims.
We have much